county did not usually come and go by their front doors, but all three men seemed to feel that, on an occasion which appeared to be so exceptional, the usual and more familiar approach by the kitchen would not be suitable. They had judged rightly. The deacon had hardly lifted the knocker when the door opened, and Mrs. Rutledge stood before them. "Walk right in," she said in her usual dead-level tone. And Bosworth, as he followed the others, thought to himself, "Whatever's happened, she's not going to let it show in her face." It would be doubtful, indeed, if anything unwonted could be made to show in Prudence Rutledge's face, so limited was its scope, so fixed were its features. She was dressed for the occasion in a black calico with white spots, a collar of crochet lace fastened by a gold brooch, and a gray woolen shawl crossed under her arms and tied at the back. In her small, narrow head, the only marked prominence was that of the brow, projecting roundly over pale, spectacled eyes. Her dark hair, parted above this prominence, passed tight over the tips of her ears, into a small braided coil at the nape, and her contracted head looked still narrower from being perched on a long, hollow neck, with cord-like throat muscles. Her eyes were a pale, cold gray. Her complexion was an even white. Her age might have been anywhere from 35 to 60. The room into which she led three men had probably once been the dining room of the house. It was now used as a front parlor, and a black stove planted on a sheet of zinc stuck out from the delicately fluted panels of an old wooden mantel. A newly lit fire smoldered reluctantly, and the room was at once close and bitterly cold. "Andy Bond?" Mrs. Rutledge cried to someone at the back of the house. "Step out and call Mr. Rutledge. You'll likely find him in the woodshed, or round the barn somewheres." She rejoined her visitors. "Please, suit yourselves to seats," she said. The three men took the chairs she pointed out, and Mrs. Rutledge sat stiffly down upon a fourth, behind a rickety beadwork table. She glanced from one to the other of her visitors. "I presume you folks are wondering what it is I asked you to come here for," she said in her dead-level voice. Wendell Bosworth and Deacon Hibben murmured an assent. Sylvester Brand sat silent, his eyes under their great thickets of eyebrows. "Well, I allow you didn't expect it was for a party," continued Mrs. Rutledge. No one ventured to respond to this chilly pleasantry, and she continued, "We're in trouble here, and that's the fact. And we need advice. Mr. Rutledge and myself do." She cleared her throat and added in a lower tone, her pitilessly clear eyes looking straight before her, "There's a spell been cast over Mr. Rutledge." The deacon looked up sharply, an incredulous smile pinching his thin lips. "A spell?" "That's what I said. He's bewitched." Again the three visitors were silent. Then Bosworth, more at ease or less tongue-tied than the others, asked with an attempt at humor, "Do you use the word in the strict Scripture sense, Mrs. Rutledge?" She glanced at him before replying, "That's how he uses it." The deacon coughed and cleared his long, rattling throat. "Do you care to give us more details before your husband joins us?" Mrs. Rutledge looked down at her clasped hands, as if considering the question. Bosworth noticed that the inner fold of her lids was of the same uniform white as the rest of her skin, so that when she dropped them, her rather prominent eyes looked like the sightless orbs of a marble statue. The impression was unpleasing, and he glanced away at the text over the mantelpiece, which read, "The soul that..."